because we all enjoyed our time then, one thing people refused to give to us was that for the World Cup finals, by FIFA timetable, you have 4 years to prepare your team. We were together for only 3 months. And before we went to Japan, we played 7 friendly matches. We won 5 of them, including beating Scotland on their ground, beating Ireland on their ground, beating Jamaica, Kenya. And we drew only 2 of the 7 matches. But by the time we got to the World Cup, it was a different cup of tea. And the major mistake, which I will accept I made, was bringing some of those old players into the team, especially those who were disbanded in Mali in January, February. That was the undoing of the team. If I had used the team I used against England, against Argentina and Sweden, we probably would have been at the final of that competition. But people were not looking into all this. Prepare a team for the World Cup final in 3 months. 3 months. And that is why I've been crying about Nigerian football, where it's a developmental program. It's supposed to be over a span of time. But I'm not giving excuses. I'm just stating the facts as they were. And I want to remain very grateful to Ifeanyi there. He did a wonderful job there. And unfortunately, when we came back, some of the old players now started talking about me bringing inexperienced players and so on and so forth. Whereas it was 1 or 2 of them who actually caused the damage we had. I mean, the old ones. Anyway, we thank God for his blessings.
So you're 82. Meaning that you were 22 years old when Nigeria got independence in 1960. It means you've seen 60 years of our independence. How was it in 1960, and how are you celebrating your independence today?
Well, with joy and happiness. I'm with my family, and we're having a nice time. It has been a nice experience in the last 60 years. I want to give special praise and appreciation to our fathers who really fought for the independence. If the leaders who followed them had followed their footsteps, maybe Nigeria would have been a very great country, a greater country today. It's still a great country, but maybe it would have been greater.
You know,
they were selfless and dedicated to the cause of the nation.
I'm thinking in my head, Nigeria as a nation, the first match we played in 1960. But when you were 22, were you already interested in coaching, or were you playing? What were you doing in 1960?
In 1960, that's an interesting question. I was still a school teacher. I was a school teacher for 20 years.
You were a school teacher at 22?
For
1960, you were 22 years old. You are 82 today. You are 82 right now. Yes.
No, I'm 82 right now.
Yes. So it means in 1960, you were around 22.
Excuse me. I was a school teacher from 1955 to 1974.
Wow.
Yes. I trained as a grade 3, grade 2, grade 1 teacher, and I taught. But one thing that is relevant here is that in all the places where I taught, I was doing 3 things together in football. I was playing, I was coaching, I was administering. And for the 4th one, in fact, I was a referee. I became a qualified referee in 1958. And I was doing the 4 together in all the places where I taught. And when I was in school, especially when I was doing my teacher's grade 2, I was the school captain and the school coach. I was the captain and the coach of the school team. And we won a cup that year, 1962.
Wow.
And, 1961. By 1962, when I was posted in Elisha, I was playing the Jesha divisional team. And I was doing the 4 things together there too. I was training referees, officiating at matches, I was administering. And so it has been like that. And when I left Elisha in 1962, I was in Akura 63, 64. I was doing the same thing in Akura where I was doing my teacher's grade 1 course. I was rolling the 4 things together in Akura then.
Wow. Fantastic. And I'm just amazed at the way you have this chronological sequence. You still remember very, very vividly. And it's impressive, I must say.
Oh, thank you.
So what was it like, Nigeria playing football, the national team in 1960?
In 1960?
Yes.
Well, we had a crop of... the first Nigerian national team came up in 1949. The UK tourists who were selected from all over Nigeria. That was the beginning of the Nigerian national team. And since then, we have had series of dedicated players. Although the technology was not as much as it is today, and we were using foreign coaches. I was the first indigenous coach to handle the national team in what was that, my brother?
Should be 82.
1983, from 1983 to 1985. I took the team to the African Cup of Nations in 1984, the first Nigerian to do that. And let me also put in this. How did I become a coach? I was playing in the schools, in the teams of the schools I attended. And then in 1958, Chief Obafemi Awolowo and other politicians went to England to discuss Nigerian independence. And it was there Chief Obafemi Awolowo found late Teslim Balogun. I still regard him as the best player Nigeria has ever produced. Fantastic in all areas of football fitness. He encouraged him to... Now, he was playing the national team, no money. In fact, when he was going to England, he had no money for transport. He went through Ghana. His friends, like Yamfi and others, who had played against one another, organized friendly matches for him to raise money for him to get to England. And when he got in there, he was playing in league teams, Queen's Park, Peterborough. And but when Chief Awolowo got in there, Chief Awolowo now virtually forced him to come back to Nigeria. And that was why he came in 1958 to be an indigenous coach in Ibadan at the Liberty Stadium, the Western Region Sports Council.
Wow.
So when he came in, he was going around the region. They remember at that time, the region extended to Port Harcourt, to Sapele and all the rest of it. He was going around looking for talents. Then he discovered me at Ile Ife, and he wanted me to come to Ibadan to play football. But I was already a grade 3 teacher. How much was in money then? I mean, how much money was in football then? And I had a lot of response. I told him I couldn't come. So I would continue playing until, as God will have it, I came to Ibadan to do my teacher's grade 2. Then I got, all along, he did not leave me alone. No. He would invite me to Ibadan to analyze important matches and all the rest of it. But when I became the captain of my school team, St. Luke's College, Ibadan, in 1961, I was the captain, I was the coach, I was a player. I invited him because that was the year teacher training colleges went into their first competition. I invited him to come and assist him, and he would come to St. Luke's College at Timalete. So we became really very close. And I would think it was because of me, he got organized the first coaching course in Ibadan in 1961, July, August. And he insisted I must attend so I was there. And I was one of the 12 who obtained our certificate. That was my first coaching
in 1961.
In 1961.
Wow.
Yes.
It's a good thing you mentioned Teslim Balogun. Some of us see Teslim Balogun, and we've heard stories, fables, folklore, and some say Teslim Balogun is a myth. Teslim Tonda Balogun. Let's talk about the left leg. Remember your left leg. As a kid, they used that story to scare me. That his shots were so hot, it could send a keeper to the next life. And where did Tonda Balogun, the Tonda, where did the Tonda come from?
There are a lot of funny stories. You remember I said I still regard him as the best player Nigeria has ever produced.
Okay.
Because he was fit in all rounds of football fitness. terrific shot, and that was how he got the name Thunderbolt. That his shot was like thunder. So that he tore somebody's stomach or whatever. All these are folklore.
Wow. If I did say heard that story, Thunder Balogun, remember your left leg. He's laughing. As a kid, he heard his story. Every kid heard that story. I don't know how that story was concocted.
Well, I don't know, but all I remember is that he was ambidextrous in the use of the two legs for football, and God gave him a very commanding figure, tall and stocky. But at the same time, he had fairly bow legs. Once he was in possession, it would be difficult for you to deny him possession of ball.
Wow.
And, very intelligent in football.
You've talked about you've talked about the evolution of the national team. You mentioned tourists.
Yeah.
We started off as tourists. We became Red Devils. We became Green Eagles. We became Papa Eagles. And today, to God be the glory, we are Super Eagles. I know Papa Eagles was when the team was not doing well. People now call them Papa Eagles. Tell us about the evolution of the national team from the tourists, Red Devils, Green Eagles, and then the Super Eagles. You followed Nigeria. Let's look at the pattern, the trend.
In 1949, when the team was brought together, they were known as UK tourists. UK tourists. They went to England and played against club sides in England, and they did fairly well. It was on their way back they played their first international, that is against two countries, against Sierra Leone, on their way back from England. And the names kept coming on. Initially it was Red Devils, because the official jersey then was red. They were wearing red, so they were called Red Devils. But when Nigeria became independent and we changed it at the national colors, green and white, that was where the Green Eagles came in. See, and the question of Papa Eagles, when you talk of green in English, when you say somebody is green, it means it's inexperienced, it's young. But as the team continued to improve in performance, people call them Papa Eagles. And not green. They are not green. Green is a little bit derogatory.
Wow.
And from there, when they started, achieving, they now became Super Eagles.
The team you coached in 1983 was Green Eagles, and the one you coached in 2002 was Super Eagles.
Pardon?
You coached the Green Eagles in 1983, and then the Super Eagles in 2002.
Yes.
What was the difference?
Well, the difference was in the. You see, I told you earlier on that I didn't want to talk about Nigerian football. But I've said a lot, and the more you talk the truth, the more enemies you make.
No, we're not. It's independence. They were just looking.
The issue is you are asking me what the difference is. The difference is in the level of development. In this country today, I have been calling, even asking media men like you, I want a copy of our developmental program for football. If you have one, please, I will appreciate a copy.
I don't have.
And if you go into FIFA statutes, under objectives, why are you running football? The first, which makes it the most important function, is, I'm quoting, to improve the game of football constantly. To improve the game of football constantly. What are we doing in this country to improve the game of football? We go into competitions. Competitions are like examinations in schools. A teacher will set up examinations to assess what the pupils have learned from what he has taught them. Where is our developmental program? What are we assessing? And not only that, for our matches, our competition, we don't even have assessors. We have not trained one single technical assessor in this country. I was with FIFA for 20 years, and the major job we were doing was at every major competition, they will select about a dozen of us to assess each match. Not only assessing each match, assess each player on all areas of football fitness. Are we doing that in this country? What we are doing, sending players to competition is like a teacher setting up an examination and not marking the script at the end of the examination. Isn't that lunatic?
Wow.
That's what we are doing with our football. We are not assessing the performances. So how do we know where next to go or what next to do? And that is why things have not been improving. I'm flouting my earlier decision that I was not talking about. I'm not going to talk about this.
I wish you were right here in the studio with us. I wish you could see Ifeanyi Udeze right now. He played in one World Cup, and he's so. I can see the goosebumps. Ifeanyi Udeze and the Super Eagles failed to qualify for the 2006 World Cup in Germany, but he played in Korea, Japan. He's short of words. He can't even talk.
No, sir. I just, Chief Onigbide is somebody I have so much respect for. So much. He's a father. He's a father. A coach. He's a high chief. When you hear people like this talk, sometimes, Tony, you need to calm down and do what and listen. So Baba, I have maximum respect for you, sir. Chief Onigbide, sir. Maximum respect for you, sir. I respect you a lot, sir.
Thank you very much. And I want to again appreciate your contribution.
Thank you, sir.
For that competition. It was unfortunate we didn't go as far as we had planned.
Yes, sir.
But
thank you, sir.
You can see from what I'm saying, if you flash your mind back, you can now understand why I did what I did and how I did them then. I'm a builder. As a teacher, I'm a builder. In 1983, when I came the first time I handled the national team, there were no experienced players around. I got the players from all over the place because there was a quarrel between the players and the administrators in 1982. The team broke down. All the key players went away. When we came in 1983, it was like picking players from the gutter. With due respect to all my players who did wonderfully well. The same thing happened when we were going to Korea, Japan. The team was disbanded in Mali. And all those players said if any one of them was, if all of them were not invited, anyone invited will not report. So I had to start from the scratch again. But when they saw that the team was coming up, having some good results, they now started lobbying, wanting to come back. And that was the mistake I made, accepting some of them back. Some of them did wonderfully well, like Kanu and Okocha. They did very well. But we had some others who deliberately came to sabotage the team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, as we wrap up this morning, you've been talking about what happened at the World Cup in 2002. Shortly after the World Cup, when the national team, you and the national team players left the World Cup and came home, Brilla FM was born on October 1st. I don't know if you have any words of encouragement for the founder of Brilla FM, Dr. Larry Izamuje. 18 years and counting. There must be one or two things you can tell him.
Well, as I said earlier on, it has been a wonderful performance in the past 18 years. But there is no end to development and improvement. Let them keep improving. And now, because we are talking about sport, I want to see them encourage sports development even more. Reporting sport, fine. But let's see what we can do to develop the game so that it will become more attractive.
Fantastic. I want to thank you immensely for talking to us this morning, this Independence Day morning on Sports Radio 88.9 FM. And of course, wishing us well. We're 18, talking about Brilla FM, Sports Radio. And we want to, of course, encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. Stay safe and keep it real. Chief Onigbide, former coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be on this program.
Yes, thank you very, very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Yes, you heard from Coach Onigbide. He's been around. He's 82. And for the 60 years that Nigeria has remained independent, Chief Onigbide has been around. He's so and he's indeed seen plenty of things happen in and around our football. You heard him talk about Teslim Balogun, Teslim Tonda Balogun. You heard him talk about the UK Tourists, the Red Devils, the Green Eagles, the Papa Eagles, and the Super Eagles. The man has seen it all. Man Sabi, he has seen it all.
Yes, Antonio Becker, the no be lie, no be lie. You know, the truth be say, we talk about a lot of things now. That's somebody I give so much respect for. You know, remember I already said he said one thing. He made it clear. He said he only come in and disband the team and he take over the team 3 months before World Cup, and it was difficult for him to do it, to rebuild under 3 months before World Cup. He ran for him out. He talk and say a team where they go World Cup will they build from 4 years to that time, time we World Cup day. You know, so that's so he be Tony. You know, the truth of the matter, I know everything will happen for Japan, Korea. You know how they take this band team and all that. Him, no consign him, no being fault, nothing consign him. He won't call him, can't take over. Just come in, take over, try do your best, and which he tried to do his best, you know. But which I want beg where Baba will say, I beg. I don't know people will get the issue when they get with some of these the senior players. Then they'll make Baba beg, make you just come out for a mind.
I know it's 18 years ago, man. Sabi.
Yeah.
What was the temperature of the dressing room that year? How was the dressing room? Was it a quiet place? Was it a friendly place?
The thing we say,
are they jolly?
Yes, it was friendly. Dressing room was friendly, very very friendly. We jolly, with a smile, we joke, we laugh a lot. Yes, but before the World Cup, when they bring Baba come, you know, everybody gets so much respect for him and fear. Everybody start to whether you be senior player, you be junior player, everybody start to the fear, you know. So inside dressing room sometimes when you enter before training, and him they like doing inside dressing room. One train. Baba go just everybody go quiet. Everybody go quiet. They look Baba. He go sing, go tell us, okay, you have 10 minutes to come out, you know. And when you go out, nobody they talk, you know. Now when we don't do inside pitch with a joke and all that, you know.
So once Baba just call, everybody go quiet.
You go quiet too. So much, yeah. You go quiet. You go quiet too.
So man, you when they talk like you go quiet.
You go quiet because you get something to tell somebody one day. The person was joking. He said, "This, I hope this your joke. Where the joke? I hope you carry this joke as you serious for this joke. You will be serious inside the pitch. You are serious joking now. So when you get inside the pitch, I want to see you like this. Everybody, so."
You know, so the way you are saying, you're trying to mimic the accent.
You know, so when you see Baba that time, you must fear. You know, one, he's an elderly man. You know, even then, that time he was an elderly man.
Baba is 82 now.
He's an elderly man, even then.
So that time, probably, if you take 18 from 82, he was 60 something.
60, yeah. Yeah, Abi?
64.
So no, you know, be small picking then. So Baba still that time an elderly man. So we still get that respect for him, you know. Even inside boss, sometimes when we try to sing inside boss, what is that? Who is that? Everybody will keep quiet again.
So okay, wait, Maui Sabi, now he's not with us now. What were those jokes? Because as footballers, I'm going to just say Baba don't come again. What were those jokes now? They talk for camp that time.
No. Joke apart. We dey joke because anytime we see him, we go serious. So when you don't walk out, come inside the room, we say, Baba, you know, military camp. Military camp will last more. You know that then, you know, and then he just won't see everybody serious. You know, he won't be saying once you don't wear your dress for training, now you want serious till train finish. Train, you don't want hear anybody joke.
You know, say Baba don't coach. You know they teach since he be teenager. This, if he had his way, you see, Baba be a person go fit flog person.
If he okay, he go flog us. That time, Baba, you come here, Tony, lie down. Take, you go take your 6 strokes. Don't be a joke. That time I said, I'm not the SMB teacher. I can't laugh. I can't carry my mind go back.
No wonder.
See, no wonder Baba serious that time. No wonder.
0700 00889. Yes, he's 82. Talking about Chief Onigbide. Let's take your calls out this morning. Hello.
Big Brampton, good morning, sir.
I greet you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, bro.
Happy independence, long life prosperity. Long live Nigeria.
Amen. What's your name?
Joseph Oso, the Ghanaian brother.
Okay, our Ghanaian brother. Let's hear you.
You see, the thing is that what I want to ask, please, in the name of the Lord, that time, you know, say, it's Shaba money that qualified Nigeria to the 2002 World Cup in Korea, Japan 2002. Then later on, they now drop Shaba Madu, late Shaba Madu, and then put Coach anybody online. Yes. I don't know what happened. Can Bella tell us the reason why? Thank you. Good morning.
Bella can tell you. There's a day here now. He will tell you. He will tell you what happened. Okay. This our Ghanaian brother wants you to tell us what happened. The technical study group. Baba headed the group to study in Mali. After Baba took over. What happened in Mali?
I think Baba today Mali. Yes, in there among the
study group.
Three wise men. Yes, three of them, you know. And what happened was that I think before our semi-final game against Senegal, our semi-final game, because normally, you know, so we get some top men coming from Nigeria, and they needed to talk to us. You know, we sit down, we stand, and they talk. And when they talk done, they don't talk. Then I think as Olusegun said, okay, time for training, and while I come in. Still can cause one kind of small wahala and all that. So after we play our semi-final with Senegal, semi-final with Senegal, we will lose. We lost to Senegal 2-1. And after that game, the next thing we hear say they don't come out late Shaibu Amadou as coach. You know, and you know, take time again. We reach another few days. Now we hear say they don't appoint Chief Onigbide as coach. And that time, just 3 months. To the World Cup, you know. So
okay, before we take the next call, let me ask you: how did the players receive the news? Because obviously, when you received the news, you probably who was the first person you called? Say you don't hear who you called.
I think who I called. I think me and me. I was talking to Yobo, Julius, and Yakubu. Yes, and Yakubu. You know, so we just discuss them. So, yeah, and through what we discuss, we say, you know, good now. This man don't qualify for World Cup again. They can't remove him and all that. You know, good, but we don't get the right to make a request or make a decision. Say okay, or decide. Say no, we don't want Baba. See what we want, because we know say the time they short. You know, for you to bring in a new coach, 3 months to World Cup. We all know, and we know say know how it will affect us. Even if only be themselves know say know how it will affect, because nobody in charge of these players. They come, you know, so before that time. So you bring in open work, you must calculate in brain 24/7 to see what you need to do. And when you come in doing best, you know, if you do pass in best.
Okay, we'll take our more calls this morning. It's all about our Independence Day celebrations. It's all about our 18th anniversary.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
This is Ogdai Falan.
Okay, go on.
I just want to greet Nigeria Independence, and I want to congratulate you guys. I thank you for the interview for making us to know what we did not know before. Good morning,
Okay, thank you very much. When an 82-year-old man talks, even Yinka was hailing the man. They hailed the man. The man is 82.
You know why I laugh?
Octogenarian.
I've worked, researched the UK tourist. In fact, I have the list of the players that played that 1949. But the fact that fan just said something that took me to sit down and search, and they said some people travel. There were videos. The videos even went viral. They played with barefoot, only their legs, against people that had their boots. It was tough. They played about 8 games in that country against some clubs, and they were able to even win games. Though they lost some, won some. The funny thing was, the game they lost 8-0, funny enough, was a game that was played on a place where there was rain. It was goalless. At halftime, they now gave the Nigerian players boots, and they lost 8-0. So with their legs, they were even doing well. But because their leg was sinking then, so they needed to use a boot with stuff that could play on the surface. They now give them boots, and they lost 8-0. So it was a case of their leg short for them past that boots.
Sports Radio 88.9 FM. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Okay, my name is Ryan.
Ryan, thank you for joining us.
I'm calling from Ikeja.
Okay, Ryan, we don't do locations anymore. We're global now. 18 years ago, we're global.
Happy 18 years to be FM. I've been listening since 2002. It's been beautiful. From all of the presenters to the guys have been doing a wonderful job. Happy 18 years to Brilliant. More 20 years for Brilliant.
Okay.
And then happy independence to Nigeria too.
Okay, thank you very, very much.
I just wanted to have and it was very, very for me to
Ryan, your line is not very clear, Ryan. We're not to hear you again. You can call us back if you can. Some of us listen to Larry Echejile. Some of us. You listen to Larry Echejile
before the metamorphosis.
Maurice, they laugh. There was Larry Echejile before Larry Zamuji.
That's true.
You didn't laugh, Abi? That's true now. One of these days, I will drag him to the studio. You come and talk again about Larry Echejile and Larry Zamuji. First of all, there was one. I just tuned with you. I couldn't hear Larry Zamuji. Who you get, brother? Larry Echejile, we know. But then he now explained, later how he became Larry Zamuji. I'm sure a lot of people now Larry Zamuji know. Me, now Echejile, me I know. Let's of course take more calls. It is still the sports trends right here, and it's an extension of the center circle. We had not too long ago the elder, 82 years old, Adegboye Onibinde, retired but not tired. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Anthony.
Good morning.
Long time for Africa. Happy Independence Nigeria.
Okay. What's your name?
My name is Donald.
Okay, Donald. Good.
The man who serve it.
I greet you, Donald.
I live for a country like this, AJ.
Okay.
Nothing do you.
I like that experience when I just dropped now from that one. Thank you. You guys did very well.
Okay.
Well done, guys.
Thank you very much. We had to, of course, take you down memory lane. Adegboye Onibide talked about Thunder, Teslimi. He said it's not actually Teslim, it's Teslimi. Thunder, Balogun, Teslimi, remember your left leg. Now, what did they sketch small children that year with that? Say the shot the tear goalkeeper belly. 0700 0000889. UK tourist. Imagine if not for independence, it would be Red Devil.
From UK tourists to Red Devils, yeah. The Red Devils.
For the drag with Man United.
Eventually, yeah. Anthony, talking about the UK tours, like I said, a chronicled run of what they did in the UK. They won 2 matches, drew 2 matches, and lost 5 matches. In their first against Marine Cosby, the Nigerians won 5-2. And in front of 6,000 spectators, the NFA team then, playing barefoot, showed their ability to move the ball well. Then after that, they played against Bishop Auckland, and they lost 2-5. And 5 days later, they lost 2-1 to Leicester FC. For 20 minutes at the next game against Ismanian League 11, the Nigerians also lost 5-1. The UK tourists they gave a rare run against their opponent. They played 2-2 draw in their next game against Corinthians League 11. It was their best game in the series till they pressed to the last minute when Teslimi, like you rightly said, Teslimi Balogun scored to level up against the Corinthians 11 in a 2-2 draw for the Nigerian team, who was also, of course, at that point playing with their barefoot. The other games were against Dulwich Almet when they won 1-0, and a 2-2 game against South Liverpool, and a 3-1 win over Bromley back in 1949. Against the Athenian League 11, it rained. The barefooted Nigerian side were much in the game. However, in the second half, when they were given boots to wear, they lost 8-0. It was a very fruitful tour and opened up new opportunities to many of the young players who featured for Nigeria at that point in time. Skipper of the team then was Richard Etim Enshaw, Teslim Balogun, Isaac Akioye. And these guys returned to England to pursue new careers and also play for English club sides at that point in time.
Sports Radio 88.9 Below FM, still the station. Indeed, it's time for us to take more calls, and it's all about the national team, football, Nigeria, and of course, independence. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Anthony.
Yeah, good morning to you. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Ryan calling back.
Yes, your line was, we couldn't really hear you. You were about to say something about the
Yeah, I said I was listening to Chachi for you, and it was beautiful listening to him again after a very long time. But then I have something to say to Ifeanyi Udeze.
Okay.
I've heard Ifeanyi Udeze speak to some of his former colleagues on the program today. He was very nostalgic about Aji Fonibinde. And then the man talked about development in our Nigerian sports and football, to be precise. And I feel Ifeanyi Udeze, is there any, because all your colleagues, everything like Sunday Olise has said, Yobo has said, is development. Is there no way to relay some of these things, this feedback we're getting from our former bosses or former Super Eagles stars back to our federation, that if you have to be development, like you mentioned, assessors, people who assess what we have done in our games, can this be relayed back properly to federation so that we can actually see this development, because it feels like a thing from 18 years ago, 2018, big. The high team has not actually seen that thing. He expects football to unfortunately. I'm not saying is there any way you can just say a word or just pass this information over? Let's see how we progress from there. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very, very much. I would have Ifeanyi Udeze respond to all of that very, very shortly. It looks like our time is fast spent. We got to go. Ifeanyi Udeze, Baba talked. Ryan just called in and he was wondering what you and other ex-internationals can possibly do so that our football can get to the next level. Obviously, 18 years ago, Baba took Nigeria to the World Cup, and 18 years after, looks like we've gone backwards.
True, Tony. For me, Tony, like people when they give chance here, if they give you chance, you'll get chance. Can't show which if you do, you know. But for now, the people to keep talking that question, they ask that question a lot. Waiting ex-nationals they do, they need to come in and change some things. But for now, let's say the truth. Even we say our house they divided. Our house, we ex-nationals, our house they divided. You know, that's why we never feel get chance to come in with full force to come see how we go help. But for now, that unity, that love, there among us for now. So that is why it is slow us down to do it we're supposed to do. I don't want to pass like that for now.
Okay, let's go for a break. This is still Sports Radio 88.9 FM. When we come back, I will do some VAR, do more sports. Stay with us. We're your frequency of champions.
Banging goal.
Opportunity better for big bet and faster payouts that cash out. Reliable, unbeatable, and winnable. VBetNow.com. VBetNow.com. Now your time to win. This one now for the people who pass 18 years.
See the frequency of Champions Sports Radio 88.9 Umbrella FM on a Language Wednesday morning like this. We want to look at this where we say they happen for inside the society. This one, outside the arena update. President Muhammadu Buhari don't write a name now for inside paper like 80 different name of 80 justices of the Supreme Court. Now give the Senate to say we are made they look at the go approve the appointment of the 8 justices them. Now for inside later where we say President gone right now where you can address give the Senate plus the Senate President Ahmed Lawan self you can read them come outside that yesterday. According to the letter they say the request is